Welcome to Lineups and Lures, where the talk runs from the dugouts to drift boats. We're all about the games we play and the waters we fish, the stories, the rivalries, the moments that keep us coming back. If it happens under the lights or out on the water, we're in. This is Lineups and Lures. All right, it's been a couple weeks, but we're back. It's right in the heart of baseball season, so let's jump right into some Seattle Mariners talk. First place Seattle Mariners. I believe the last time we were on the podcast together, the Mariners had just taken over first place.
Sounds about right.
And they've been holding on to it ever since. So it's good to see that we're playing well, especially considering all of the injuries that we're dealing with right now. That's not even the dog days of summer, and we got, 4 of our starters have been out. It's been a little rough these last couple of weeks. Yeah,
it has. Look, the reality is everyone not everyone's going to play 162 of them every year. So, in a way, I guess I'm going to take the glass half full approach here. And number one, it looks like our banger is back. Five long balls in 5 games probably tells me that he might be ready to come back to the big leagues.
Yes.
And I believe he's scheduled, actually, funnily enough, to come back Tuesday against Adley in Baltimore and Seattle.
Yep.
So, look, that was priority number one. Let's not kid ourselves.
So before we move on from that,
okay,
what do they do with the catching situation? Do you dump Garver?
No. So, is it Peralta?
Pareda
has one more option back to AAA.
He's a good team chemistry guy. He brings a lot of energy.
Yeah,
He's been swinging it.
He hasn't been swinging it that good.
It's not bad. 270.
Oh,
what do you think Garver's hitting?
No, probably 180.
200.
There you go. No, I think more from my naked eye, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched a ton of day-to-day Mariners yet, just because the college season's just getting wrapped up. And we'll get into 16U baseball here in a little bit, maybe. But I think you got to go with Mitch Garver. There's a guy that's been an All-Star. There's a guy that the pitching staff, number one, is comfortable with. And I'm not saying they're not with Pareda. I want my backup catcher to be a wily veteran, and Mitch Garver is that wily veteran.
Well, I didn't know if he has one more option left, then it makes sense to send him back down.
Yep.
But like I said, I think everyone in the clubhouse likes him. He brings a good energy. It seems like the pitchers are enjoying throwing to him. His challenges are not he's not the highest rate of success, but he's still learning.
Well, yeah.
He struggles a little bit with the challenges.
Well, but and that's where I'm not saying it's a no forever, but right now, if you put a gun to my head, I'm taking Mitch Garver as my backup catcher.
Okay. Right. So we got Cal coming back tonight.
Randy can't be far away. He just had a little oblique or something, or
hamstring. Yeah. It doesn't look like he's going to go on the IL, so that's a good sign.
Cole Young, day-to-day, I believe. Or was it Colt? No, Colt was day-to-day. He missed a couple of games.
He had a little back injury.
And then obviously Donovan is how far away? I think they moved him to the 10-day, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. He's sometime late in the month. They said he just started running on a weightless treadmill, so he's still working his way back, and he'll have to go out on a rehab assignment. So
yeah, and then
you're looking end of June.
And look, then we've had our bullpen's been kind of banged up a little bit as well. I mean, you got Brash going on the IL now, and
and the last time it was same injury. So last time he was out for almost 3 weeks of games.
I guess my answer to all of this is it's going to happen. You're not going to go through 162 games and have everybody available every night. What I'm, I guess, pleasantly surprised with is that we haven't had, season ending done.
Yes.
We've had injuries that, quite frankly, over the course of a long baseball season, you guys are going to miss a few here and there. Load management is a real thing today. Guys are getting rostered days off. The days of playing 162 baseball games are over. And put it all together, you've got, it looks like you're going to get healthy at the right time of the year at the end of the summer. The big fella is doing big fella things, and it looks like he's ready to come back. If anyone tells me he wasn't hurt before he went on the IL, I'm going to say I don't believe you, because you just look at the way that cat's swinging the bat right now. That's a different. It looks like Cal of old.
Yes.
Look out the back end of the season, because he might go on a run like he started to last year, with 30 less games behind the plate, which is, come the playoffs, could not be a bad thing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we talked about it last year with Logan Gilbert and Kirby both missing time early in the season, just makes them sharper at the end. So, yeah, you're right. Missing a few games and us being able to hold on to the first place is a big deal.
So I think Jerry DePito is going to have a busy phone in his office for the next few weeks.
Yeah.
And one is an absolute no-brainer we've been talking about all year, and that's Luis. The other one is kind of interesting. And it's happened, and this is my opinion. I'm ready to stick with Cole and Colt. And I don't know if Brandon Donovan is necessarily required on the roster. And I don't think we can keep him as a utility bench guy for what we're paying him.
So you're saying dump Donovan. You would trade Donovan.
Well, where's he going to play?
Well, I think you have to trade one third base potential player.
I keep JP because I think that if we have a real option to add another banger to this lineup, which I believe we need a middle-of-the-order right-handed bat in this lineup, third base is one of the possibilities of where you can get that guy. And maybe he's sitting in Cincinnati. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
He did hit 2 last night.
I saw that. Look, we can talk briefly Matt Chapman. I am not advocating for it at all. But, I mean, there are third basemen – Caminero, that would fit very well in that lineup.
Is that the guy that's on the first place Rays?
Well,
you think the first place AL East Rays are going to trade their really the only name that anybody knows on the Rays?
Yes.
No, they're not going to trade him.
Why? They ain't going to win anything.
Yes, they are. They're in first place.
They are not.
They got pitching. Look what Rasmussen's been doing this year.
They are not dealing. They are not beating the evil empire in September and October.
Most likely not. But that doesn't mean you give up on the whole thing.
I'm not saying you give up on the whole thing. I'm saying let's go and get 4 draft picks for your guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to work.
Maybe 6 draft picks for the guy.
So you're looking at you would trade Donovan before you would trade Crawford.
So I think you got to look past this year. I think JP is the kind of guy that would come back on a lower salary to stay on a winner. JP can play every infield position. He is a plus defender. And I think his bat is sneaky good.
It is. When he's healthy.
Well, but okay, if he's only going to have to play 70 games a year, I think the health becomes less of a problem. Brandon Donovan was meant to be our guy, but I don't think I think the reality is Cole Young and Colt Emerson stepped up 2 seasons quicker than anybody thought they were going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't think, like I said, I'm not mad at DePito for making the move. And look, the other thing is, if you want to do something else because you want him to be at the top of the lineup, okay, let's talk about options. Right field, Randy, even though he's having a all-star caliber year, there's options here.
There is. I'm not opposed to getting rid of JP, though, because we do have a little bit of a logjam in middle infield with, Colt and Cole, you're right, being ahead of schedule. I mean, Cole's, 22 years old? Colt's 20. That's a pretty darn good middle infield core.
I mean, they could be Trammell and who was the other one at Detroit there for 20 years?
I don't remember.
But, I mean, literally those guys could play 15 years together in the middle of the field.
Yeah, but we got some guys coming up in the farm. I mean, Felnin Celestin and Michael Arroyo. I mean, we got 2 more middle infielders right behind them, which is why I'm thinking, if you could trade JP for something right now, you got 2 more guys down there in the minors if we need another second baseman, shortstop, that we can just pull from those guys.
So I like the idea of having 4 guys to play the 3 spots, second, shortstop, and third. A, because I like a roster day off. B, with the Mariners' travel schedule, and this is a real thing, they fly more than anybody else in the country.
Yep.
Those miles on the airplane take it out of you a little bit. And if you can have a rotation system where a guy can get that, he plays the day game, gets that night off, gets the next night off, and doesn't play until 6 o'clock the following night, he really gets almost 3 full days. I like that rotation. That's a real thing.
Yeah. Well, and I'm just talking prospects. You still got Ryan Bliss that can play.
Yeah, we're not there. You're thinking like the Mariners of 3 years ago. We're contenders right now. We need guys that are borderline all-stars now.
I really liked Bliss last year. I thought he was stealing bases. He was playing a great second base until he got injured. And then Cole Young came up and kind of shocked everybody.
What does Cole Young do that Ryan Bliss does not?
Hits for power.
Hits for power.
Absolutely.
Guys get paid.
I'm just saying, you're talking about a backup guy. That's not a bad. That's a pinch runner.
No, but
guy.
I'd take Brandon Donovan over him.
Absolutely.
No.
But somebody's got to play third.
Well, my point is that Donovan or Crawford, one of them's probably not here at the All-Star break.
Most likely.
And depending on who we're looking at, probably depends on which one's here and which one isn't.
Yeah.
And look, between Luke Raleigh and Canzone, right field's pretty much taken care of, man. Those guys are hitting and hitting hard.
Yeah. They've taken that over.
Yeah.
Because we thought for sure right field was our position that we were going to look to add.
Well, if Mike Trout wants to come play right field, I still think we should look at that.
Of course.
Or who's that rookie that from the Nationals that we just played? Big, tall guy, plays right field.
The rookie?
Well, he's not a rookie. He's
James Wood?
James Wood.
Yeah, I don't think the Nationals are moving anybody right now. They have one of the best farm systems in baseball.
Yeah, but that guy can hit it. If he wants to go play right field, he can go play right field.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The only problem is he's left-handed, but, I think we can get over it.
Hey, lefties hit a lot of home runs at Safeco.
So, look, I still think we need one more power right-handed bat in the lineup, and that really needs to come from third base. Because we don't have anywhere else to put him. Naylor's not going anywhere. Julio ain't going anywhere. Cal ain't going anywhere. Randy's playing just fine and is a right-handed hitter.
Yep.
So the question becomes, who plays third base?
Well, we got about a month to figure that out. So It should be interesting. There's going to be a lot of names tied to the Mariners once again.
And one of them could be a very familiar one.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Get ready for the 2026 season at Portland Baseball Club. Whether you're looking to fine-tune your skills or stay sharp during the off-season, we've got the perfect training option for you. From individual private lessons to camps and monthly membership programs, PBC has everything you need to elevate your game this winter. Our personalized lessons offer one-on-one instruction from top-tier coaches, focusing on hitting, pitching, fielding, catching, and more. For those looking for group training, our camps and total player program provide intense skill-building sessions designed to keep players engaged and improving week after week. Looking for the all-inclusive plan? Our Total Player program gives you unlimited access to training sessions throughout the entire winter. No matter what age or skill level, Portland Baseball Club has a program to help you reach your goals this winter. Join us and take your game to new heights in 2026. Sign up today and get ahead of the competition. For more details, visit portlandbaseballclub.com.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Mariners pitching staff and our bullpen usage. This is a big point of contention with me, and we go back to when Scott Service got fired. What was the major complaint? He overused his bullpen. You look at what's going on now with Dan Wilson. It's the same 4 leverage arms every game. And guess who just went back on the IL for the second time this year?
Munoz, wasn't it? Brash.
Brash.
Yeah.
And Munoz, he's not on the IL, but he's got his sore back again. But a lat strain for Brash now that he missed 16 games the first time. Who knows how many he's going to miss this time? It's hard for those guys to be pitching every day, 2 out of 3 days. Cooper Criswell's on the IL. Like, at some point, you got to have 5 starters. You got to have somebody in the bullpen. 6 starters is just taxing that bullpen way too much.
So you're saying have more of a middle relief guy or a long relief guy than...
I think you got to start looking at who's going to be that guy that goes to the bullpen. Is it going to be Miller? Is it going to be Castillo?
So, all right, I'm going to answer this question with the assumption that Luis Castillo is not a Mariner in the next month.
But does moving him to the bullpen
all right, it doesn't matter because
affect that?
it doesn't matter because you need to get paid for him while he's still worth something, and he's still worth something to a contending team. He's probably a number 3 on a lot of teams still. Yeah. So I have been, I can still read the box score even though I haven't watched a lot of games, and it's become very apparent to me that when the lineup turns over for the third time, I think I watched Kirby the other day. he was cruising 2 hits through 5 innings, and the 6 he goes and gives up 4 runs or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, the guy's earned his money. He's got his 5 innings. Yes, we'd like him to get 7, but all right, he's got 5, and I think this is more to your point where we need bridge guys for that 6, 7, and that way, even if you do get, and you know what, if we're up by 6 runs, then let him keep going. Don't even bring in the bullpen arms for the big bullpen arms that night. Yeah, I think there needs to be a little bit more old school roster construction where you've got those quote unquote middle relief guys, which now it seems like it's starter, leverage, which even you would think would go very well for the postseason. But as we discovered last year, when you bring the same arm out for 6 nights in a row, the hitters get their eye in after a while.
Yes.
So
yes,
I think it's definitely worth discussion, and I think it's, maybe it's having a guy like you said. Look, let's talk the pitching. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when Kate Anderson is in this starting rotation. So when we get closer, well, hell, we could even start it now. I mean, maybe Bryce Miller is the guy that becomes your. And I don't want to use the word mop-up because that's not what it is. It's the bridge guy. I think that's the best way to put it.
It's a long reliever.
Yeah.
And that's what they've been using Criswell for. But they've been using him so much in that role that now he's got a shoulder strain and he's going to be out for a little bit.
Well, and it could also just be a bit of bad luck on this too. It might not also be. No.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and dig into the stats, but I feel like our 4 leverage arms, Spire, Ferrer, Brash, and you can throw Munoz in there, but before he blew that save, and then he struggled in the next one, and then there was all this talk about should Munoz still be our closer.
Right.
He didn't pitch in 5 days.
Yeah, and it's tough for those guys. They need to be pitching every other day.
And then you go and you bring him in a non-save situation, which you talk to any closer, the difference in a save situation, non-save situation is tremendous.
Yeah, they just don't got the juices running.
Yeah. So the problem is like you said, analytically speaking, starting pitchers aren't going to go through a lineup 3 times. So you better hope you're getting 6 innings because now you only got 3 to cover. And with a 6-man rotation,
that means you got to pitch a perfect 6 innings, which ain't going to happen.
You're
going to give up. You're going to walk a couple guys, and you're going to get a couple hits. I mean,
but if you're doing a 6-man, pitchers should be extended out 100, 115 because they have an extra day of rest.
Which I have no problem with. The only problem is, as we can see by the numbers, it doesn't pay to.
Yes.
So that's where I'm saying, look, Logan, Kirby, Wu, Hancock, and I think eventually it will be Anderson, which means Miller is your guy.
Yes.
Because Luis Castillo is wearing some other color jersey shortly.
Yes.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. Something's got to change, though, because we're blowing up these bullpen arms, and it's just not sustainable.
And the other thing is maybe we need to look at, do we carry one less position player and carry one more arm?
I don't think you can. I think part of the last CBA was there's restrictions on number of pitchers you're allowed to carry, in part because of the 3-batter minimum. They didn't want teams carrying extra pitchers, so that way every other hitter was a pitching change. So I think there's actually roster limits based on the number of pitchers you're allowed to have.
Okay, we'll have to get back to you on that one, folks. Okay.
But yeah, I'm a little worried that we're doing a little too much with our bullpen, and it's going to come back to bite us. It's maybe not today, although we're seeing the injuries. I'm more worried about what's going to happen in September, October, when these guys are at career.
But you're saying we need
somebody.
We need more arms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So hopefully that's a big trade deadline target is another high leverage bullpen arm.
After a long day on the water or hard training session, your muscles are tight, your body's worn down, and just sleeping it off doesn't cut it anymore. Where guys go to actually recover: real therapeutic massage, infrared or traditional sauna, red light therapy, PEMF, and compression. Everything your body needs to stop hurting and get back out there. The same recovery tools the pros rely on, right here locally. No membership required, no commitment, just show up and feel the difference. Solvita Wellness Spa. Find us at solvitaspa.com or on Southwest Barrows Road near Progress Ridge and Tigard. Your body did the work. Let us handle the rest.
Well, the first phase of the MLB All-Star Game voting is just about finished. I think there's a couple more days. So there's been some interesting, they kind of listed out the top 10 for each position. Who do you think the number one overall vote getter is in all of baseball?
Shohei.
Yeah. He's the only guy over 1 million votes.
Whoop-dee-doo. Whoop-dee-doo.
Well, sorry. Jordan is also over 1 million. He deserves it. They both deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. So let's go real quick, position by position, and see what kind of we think this All-Star team is going to look like.
Okay. Well, what it's going to look like, or what it should look like?
Well, you're right. That is the question. Because I filled out a ballot. I think you filled out a ballot.
I only got halfway through, and then I got bored and went on to the next and went back to work. But
well, some of them are kind of difficult. I mean, you don't just want to always pick the same guy for everything, but
right.
Sometimes you kind of have to.
The problem is there is certainly name recognition, and then there's what guys have actually done.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, anyway, let's go through it. American League first, then we'll go to the National League, and we'll see what we come up with.
All right. So American League catchers, Langeliers with the Athletics has about a $400,000 or 400,000 vote lead right now on everybody else. So it looks like he's going to be the starter, which, hey, good for Oakland, Sacramento, Vegas getting out and voting.
He actually is an all-star catcher.
He is, for sure.
Well, and the problem is there's one guy that should be at the top of that list that's being injured. And maybe he makes it, maybe he doesn't.
True, but he's not going to catch up. So
okay.
So it's probably going to be Shea. I'd love to see Adley keep closing that gap and be a reserve because he's having a good resurgence here.
Yeah.
When he's healthy. First base. Vladdy Jr. leading the votes.
Well, we just talked about name recognition.
I know. The guy's on pace to hit 6 home runs this year?
Well, when Dad played 20 years in the big leagues and you've played 10 years in the big leagues and just got a $500 million contract,
yeah.
Some people just click on your name because they saw your name.
Yeah. They don't understand he's having one of the worst years.
Yeah.
I know he's still hitting well, like average and stuff, but no power.
I think the guy that's at the top of that list should be Ben Rice. He's just had a breakout year in New York, and I hate to say this, but the Yankees may have found another one.
Oh, I think they did find another one. Yeah. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, and he's just getting started.
Yeah. And Murakama, I mean, before he got injured, you're talking first place White Sox. They're in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Not saying it's all his doing, but moving on to second base, Ernie Clement with the Blue Jays.
Boo.
I know. But hey, Bazana being in third right now, like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I was not expecting him to be that high. I mean, we kind of talked about this off there, like who's it going to be? And like, if you thought, all right, who's the best second baseman? His name had to come up because there's not that many.
Well, the problem is you got two guys on the back end of this list. One guy who is literally ready to retire, and the other guy that somehow got on Kimmel or whatever the other night is a 230 hitter. So
yes.
I mean,
yep. Third base, your boy Junior Caminero.
Well, that one I can't argue with.
No, and Okamoto's he's had a great season. Vargas, Josh Jung, how's that? Really? Over Jose Ramirez?
Are they considering Ramirez a third base? I thought he played outfield.
No, he plays third.
Huh.
Yeah. But good on Seattle showing up. I mean, 120,000 votes for Brendan Donovan. He's played, 20 games this year? Not too bad. Shortstops, Bobby Witt Jr. I mean, he's the best shortstop in baseball.
Yeah, right now you got to say that. I mean, there's a couple of guys that you want to throw in there, but he's the guy right now. So, yeah, that's easy.
That's an easy one. I could see Gunnar Henderson maybe making up some ground there because, I mean, he should be one of the best shortstops in baseball. He just hasn't quite performed that well. DH, Jordan, of course.
Hold on a second here. I got to slide down to DH. Oh, goodness. Yes, that's quite the lead he's got.
Yes. Which I'm kind of surprised.
How on earth does Jock Peterson have 120,000 votes when he's batting like 150?
Well, there's a lot of people in Texas. He's a fan favorite.
Jesus. All right. All right, so
I mean, Dom Canzone has 107,000. I think the only reason people know who Dom Canzone is because he does this.
no, it's because of the cappuccino, or the espresso during
Yes.
during the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
And they do the Italian.
Exactly. All right, outfielders. Aaron Judge, of course, a Yankee's going to be on that list. It's good to see Mike Trout at number 2. He deserves to be back in the All-Star game. He's having a great season. Hopefully he gets traded. After that, though, look at that 6 and 7.
Well,
Julio and Randy right there.
I think number 6 should be number 2, but that's that guy plays the best defensive center field of any of these guys by so far. It's stupid.
You talking about Julio?
Yeah.
I would disagree with you. I thought Julio was a terrible outfielder to start this season. So many errors, balls clanking off his glove.
I think there was a little bit of Julio wasn't quite ready to play full-time baseball yet going on, but yeah, you tell me how he looks in July, August, and September.
Of course. He just needs to be a little more consistent for me.
Well, then again, I'm sure if you watched as many games of these other guys, you may have seen a couple of
True.
whoopsies along the way as well.
True.
So
One that kind of snuck up on me looking at this list, though, was Wade Meckler coming in at number 12. The dude's played, 2 weeks in the bigs this year?
no,
He hasn't been up all year. He hasn't been up that long.
Well, I just think the better story is he was nearly axed from Oregon State
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
And now he's in the big leagues. So
Yeah.
good for him.
And getting votes for All-Stars, which is cool.
Good for him.
Another ex-Beav on that list, Stephen Kwan, down at 16.
Yeah,
he's having a rough one.
Yeah, he just hasn't. I mean, when you make a living out of getting on base and running around the bases and you're not hitting 300, it's pretty hard because he's never going to have the big power numbers.
No. Although his power has improved quite a bit since he's gotten to the big leagues. All right, let's move on to National League. So looking at the catchers, you got Drake Baldwin, who arguably might be the best catcher in baseball right now. So I'm not surprised by that one. He's pretty good. And Will Smith right there behind him. Portland's own Carson Kelly with the Cubs, sitting in the 6th spot. That's pretty cool. And then I don't know if you remember, but Daniel Susak, who's 9, was going to be a Beaver, ended up at Arizona.
Okay.
And I think his older brother may have been
Andrew?
with wasn't he with Mitch's team back in the World Series days?
Andrew Susak?
Yeah.
I believe he also played in the Giants organization, did he not?
I think he did. First base, Freddie Freeman. This is the race that I'm most interested in because Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson, Bryce Harper, and Jake Bauers, who is quietly having a fantastic season, which I just traded for him on my fantasy team, so I'm really excited about that. And he's been crushing it recently.
So I don't know this Bowers kid that well, but those top 3 are the who's who of sluggers in baseball.
Yes.
I mean, Freddie Freeman's a first ballot Hall of Fame. Bryce is almost there, if not there already.
He's there.
And Olson's going to probably join that list barring a major injury. So, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the home run that Olson hit in Vegas?
No.
I believe it was like a 48-degree launch angle, so basically straight up.
Just a moonshot.
And it was only like 98 miles an hour to right field. And, you're at elevation, the ball carries there. And I had it like a 6-second hang time. He probably could have ran all the way around the bases.
Well,
Pretty impressive.
Maybe if this doesn't work out, maybe you should try his hand at punting in the NFL or something with that
Right.
kind of hang time.
Maybe golf.
Okay.
Second base, Ozzie Albies with the Braves. That one kind of makes sense, but Bryson Stott, who's kind of having a little bit of a rough year with the Phillies. And then Bryce Terang. And those Brewers just find a way to win baseball games. They got some good talent and good coaching.
Well, in case you haven't noticed, they've got a guy on just about every list on here, so they're doing something right.
They do. The guy I'm kind of surprised, though, is Weatherholt. Only at 150,000 votes. I thought the Cardinals would come out and try to vote him a little bit better. I mean, he should be the Rookie of the Year in the National League this year. He's pretty good. Third base, Max Muncy, Alec Boehm. That's not a very impressive list. At the top of the list, at least.
No, and if I'm not mistaken, Arenado is not having a great year.
Yeah, he's been injured a lot. I mean, Austin Riley's haven't. Well, Max Muncy deserves it.
I mean, he's just almost getting in on name recognition alone anymore. But
yeah, but look at the bottom of that list though. Machado, who having a little bit of a rough year, especially on the power side. Bregman, always slow starter. Bo Bichette, Matt Chapman.
Well, I mean, that's the funny thing is you've got 4 guys that are perennial all-stars right there, and they're all having a bad year at the same time.
Yeah.
So whether it be injury or just having a bad year, but yeah.
Yeah. Shortstops, we just saw C.J. Abrams in the Mariners 3-game series against the Nationals. That guy's the real deal.
Okay.
That's a guy that I think if the Nationals were looking to move somebody, I think that would be the guy they're looking to move.
Why?
I mean, he's been in the league for a couple of years now. He's going to want to get paid. I'm not sure the Nationals are really prepared to make that type of commitment.
Well, at some point you got to stop paying him.
Yeah. Mookie Betts and then Ellie De La Cruz, who just went out for rehab. He's been out. I still think that guy's going to win an MVP at some point.
Yeah, he's got that crazy ability of, he's got that big lanky frame, and he is a 5-tool guy, which those guys tend to get paid pretty well.
Yes, they do. All right, DH, no-brainer, Shohei. I mean, he's an all-star. He'll be there. I feel bad for Kyle Schwarber, though. I mean, he's going to get stuck behind him, and if it wasn't for Shohei, Schwarber would be a no-doubt DH all-star every single year.
Well, hold on a second. Should Shohei get in as a pitcher, or should he get in as a DH?
Well, you don't get to vote for pitchers, so he'll be in as a DH, and I would imagine he'll probably throw his 1 inning. Everybody wants to see it.
All right.
Also, remember where the All-Star game is this year.
Is it at Dodger Stadium?
No, it's in Philly.
Oh, Schwarber's going to be pissed.
Yeah. He'll be there in one capacity, but probably not as a starter. And then your outfielders, Andy Pages, not Pages, Pages from the Dodgers. Acuna. I can't argue with the top 2. Acuna's having a great year. After that, though, Brandon Marsh, Michael Harris, Teoscar, man, wouldn't that look great in a Mariner uniform?
Well, I think Teoscar is reaping the benefits of having a number of rather large bats hitting in front of him and missed fastballs coming down the plate a little more often than it used to in Seattle.
Correct. Although even when he was in Seattle, he still was leading the league in average exit velocity. I mean, the dude just squares up baseballs.
Yeah.
James Wood, Corbin Carroll, Juan Soto, and there's some big names on that outfielders.
Well, as there should be. So
even PCA. Did you see he hit for the cycle last night?
I did. Did
you see what happened right after he hit it single in the 7th, 8th, 9th inning, whatever, to finish the cycle?
I wish I could say yes, but I was watching the 7th inning of a absolutely meaningless 16U baseball game.
No, Monday night, not Sunday.
That was Monday. I'm talking about last night. Okay, freshman softball combined.
High school baseball.
Yes, I'm out there, and I didn't get home until nearly 10 o'clock. So, no, I did not see it.
So he goes and he hits for the cycle, gets on first base, just needed the single to complete it, promptly gets picked off on the next pitch. Oops.
Hey, it's in the book, babe.
Right? Doesn't matter. I got the cycle. That was one of 2 cycles yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. The other one happened in the College World Series.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, dude for Texas whooped on him, by the way. Went and hit for the cycle, and a little bit controversial because there was a ball that was hit to left center field in about the 3rd inning. Outfielders didn't really communicate who was gonna catch it or try to keep it in front. Ball gets by him, and originally they called it a single
and an error because it kind of clanked off the left fielder's glove. But then he hit the home run in like the 7th, and they're like, we just got an update that there's a scoring change. We have a retroactive cycle. They changed it to a triple to give him the cycle. A retroactive cycle. What, did Pops go up there and slide him some cash or something? I mean,
probably. You got to make a good story. It was a blowout game, so gives everyone something to talk about.
Well, there you go.
Well, we'll see what happens. It should be. I mean, I love the MLB All-Star game. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about some changes they should make to the workout day and competition
Yes,
stuff.
this is always something you're very. This is one of your babies.
It is. There's some opportunities there, but we'll get to that
Okay.
as we get closer.
Okay.
Hey there, I'm Chad with Jackson Painting and Remodel, and if you're looking to give your home a fresh new look, you've come to the right place. Whether you need a bold new color for your living room or a fresh coat to brighten up your home's exterior, my team and I have got you covered. We specialize in both indoor and outdoor painting, using only the best materials to make sure your space looks amazing and stands the test of time. If you're ready to transform your home, visit jacksonpainting.com. I'd love to come by, chat about your ideas, and give you a free estimate. At Jackson Painting and Remodel, we don't just paint, we make your vision a reality. Again, visit jacksonpainting.com or call 503-620-2600.
Well, the NBA Finals just ended.
Thank God.
That was a good series.
I wouldn't know. Didn't watch 1 minute.
Well, if you watched the first half, you would have thought that the Spurs swept because they were up by 15 or more in the first half, I think, of every single game, including a 27-point lead in, I think it was Game 4.
You know, that's fine. The only highlight that I thought was worth watching was the close-up of Sydney Sweeney in the stands. So, I mean, other than that, yeah.
And she didn't even get front row. She was like 8 rows back.
Well,
she got kicked off. The Swifties took over, the Jenners.
Yeah, she's not quite in that tax bracket with some of that old money in New York there. She's got a little ways to go.
Yeah, but man, that was a ticket to have, though, huh? The courtside Knicks seats. I didn't know there were so many people that were Knicks fans, and I'm not. I couldn't, other than Jalen Brunson, I don't think I could tell you another player on that roster. So,
well,
but it was a good series.
Good for the city.
Yeah. So let's talk a little Blazers.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get too much into the Blazers, and everyone's panicking about this owner and how he's going in and cleaning house and doing all this stuff.
And he just won a Stanley Cup.
He just won a Stanley Cup championship with a team that was abysmal for years. Went in, did the same kind of deal.
So maybe people should just let him do his job, is maybe what you're saying?
I mean, the guy has now a proven track record of being able to turn a franchise into not only being profitable, but win.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, maybe we should just relax, in the words of Aaron Rodgers. But there is some issues going on in Portland, though. So there's this.
Are there?
Well, there's this concept that we need an entirely new stadium or $600+ million worth of renovations.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that? Because personally, I think the Rose Garden, Moda Center, whatever it is one of the best arenas for fan viewing. I think the layout of the seats and everything is absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
The entries are in the corners, not in the middle of the arena. Like, I think it's a great viewing thing. I thought they did a good job with the new scoreboards this year, kind of updating the stadium. But I was reading an article this morning, and they were actually talking about some of the things that were going to get replaced. And so one of the arena issues that they addressed was the different levels of aisle steps.
So are we talking about like on the concrete where they've got the big step, the little step, the big step, or are we
Yes.
talking about the transition to like we used to call them the hockey boards?
No, just the
Yeah.
as you're walking down, there's really kind of some bigger steps. And
Yeah,
then
they're
it gets
shitty.
a little smaller.
Yeah, they're shitty.
Yeah, it's easy to trip on sober, drunk,
Surprised
carrying food.
Surprised it hasn't happened way more times than I've seen over the years.
Yeah, but it's always been that way. Mm-hmm. This isn't a new thing.
Okay.
So that was one of the things, was fixing these arena steps.
Well, that's not $600 million worth.
It's not. They talked about, fixing cracking concrete and deteriorating concrete. I feel like that might be something that's probably worth fixing. Replacing the seats. Some of them are kind of old and stained, and I agree with that.
Okay.
I'm still not coming up with $600 million worth of renovations, though.
So I think I'm going to come at this a different way. I think Dundon's a businessman and was like, well, let's see how much I can get.
Yes.
I don't blame him. I would ask for a bill.
Yep.
The bones of that arena are very good. The parking was C+ at best. if they were going to spend some money, I wouldn't actually mind seeing some additions to the east-west garage. I'd also, and it's not so much just the garage, but the way you enter and exit that. If there is a way that they could get the road to just go straight down to interstate, where you could get either straight over the steel bridge or turn right for those living on that side of town. That would be another thing. Obviously, the garden garage works pretty well because you get straight onto the freeway. Parking,
but again, we're talking about superficial things that don't affect the
the seating.
Blazers.
The seating's outdated. They need to fix the seating, and I think especially in the lower bowl, I would like to see a few less chairs and a little more room. And at the amount of money that they are charging to sit in that chair, I'm not that big of a human being. I'm 6'3", and I can't put my knees together. And that's not because I'm a little overweight these days. That's because I'm 6'3" and my legs don't get together.
Yeah. Well, and I'm only 5'9". It's still tight for me sometimes.
And, if it's fine if I go with the wife, but if I'm going with a buddy and he also happens to be my size, well, that's a problem.
Yes.
So the seats need to be fixed because that's a real thing. And in the lower bowl, when they're asking for $250, $300 a night, you should be able to sit comfortably and watch the game.
Agree.
Concessions are interesting. Portland's always got the foodie thing. So, I can count on one hand how many times I've eaten dinner at the stadium, so I don't care.
Yeah, but it is cool. Like, it is all local restaurants and stuff, so it has a local flair. Whereas, like, going to SoFi Stadium, it's hot dogs and hamburgers is the name of the food.
Right.
Like, there's no character to it. So I think that's a cool part of the arena.
I think the other bigger thing that, and I don't know if this was just the rumor or if this actually happened, but I believe they were trying to bring back some type of food and beverage options in the concourse between the Coliseum and the Garden to where fans could congregate before and or after games. Back in the day, Kachina used to be in the corner back there. And let's be honest, there's plenty of room there in that terrace to do some things. I think it would be awesome. I think it would be step one of revitalizing the Rose Quarter area. Because, you get a couple blocks away from that stadium and it's nowhere you want to be.
Well, that's part of the bigger picture, I think. And that's where I'm curious how much of this money is actually maybe going to go towards, I think it's the Albina project or something, where it's revitalizing that entire area.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that one on
well,
the air.
Because they're part of that money they're saying it needs to come from the climate budget or something. And they're trying to put a cap over I-5 through there and make it a park and do all these sorts of things. Again, Bo, none of this really pertains to the Blazers and the Moda Center.
Yeah, sure.
Good answer.
Look, at the end of the day, the Rose Garden's tired. It needs a little lipstick. The bones are good. Everything you said about the sidelines and everything, I couldn't agree. I've been to many, many arenas across the country, and quite frankly, it's one of the better ones.
Yeah, and louder and loud.
And the concourses are actually wide. I've been down to Talking Stick in Phoenix a number of times, and I got to tell you, it's elbows to arseholes when you're trying to get. Literally, the concourses are maybe 8-10 feet wide, whereas at the Rose Garden, they're 50 feet wide.
Yeah, and the ceilings feel like they're about 8 feet tall. It's very claustrophobic.
Yes. Yeah. So, look, at the end of the day, take the money, make it better. And quite frankly, of all the money we spend money on things in this state, this is not like one of the biggest tragedies in the world.
It's not. And there's a lot of business with concerts and monster trucks and things that go on year round.
Yeah.
You got the WNBA team, which apparently is selling out games and one of the best atmospheres in the WNBA. You got the Winterhawks that have, been a perennial playoff team. There's a lot of good that the Rose Garden brings to the city of Portland. So,
yeah, no, I think the other thing that people need to realize is that let's not be jumping over a dollar to save a dime. If the Blazers leave, and I got to tell you, I'm actually in the camp to think that they will leave, because if I'm Tom Dundon, I run to the hills to Charlotte, or not to Charlotte, to Tennessee. But people in this town need to realize how much business, how much is in this town revolves around Trailblazer basketball.
Yeah.
And if we were to lose that, we have zero chance of ever getting MLB. We have zero chance of ever getting the NHL. We have zero chance of ever getting a football team. So don't screw this up, people. That's my 10 cents.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, since we're talking Blazers, the interim head coach is off the board.
Okay.
So Tiago Splitter going to the Bulls. How you're hearing like two other names. I don't really know the names. They're both kind of assistant guys around the league. Did we miss the ball, drop a ball by not bringing Splitter back? And why is Terry Stotts' name not being out there in the national media?
So I think we got to back this up a little bit. Splitter was given an offer.
He was.
The dollars and cents did not match up to his liking.
And I haven't seen what he got paid by the Bulls. I was trying to find that yesterday. I could not find that information.
So I think the rumor was a $1.5 from the Blazers, which quite frankly is pretty light
It
for
is.
a head coach in the NBA. I mean, I don't think there's anybody making less than $5, is there?
I can't imagine.
So not the head job. So to me, that was Dundon's way of backing out of that conversation. And look, it's very clear that he wants to bring in his guys and his staff. And, well, when you paid $4 billion, you get that privilege. So I think this was – and then, of course, he put the moratorium on hiring while he was watching his team win the Stanley Cup, which good for you. I would do the same thing.
I don't blame you.
And the two guys floating out there, if there's really no urgency because it's only us and who is the other team that doesn't have a head coach? There's one other team.
And you would think that Portland would be a commodity because a young team, a all-star in Denny, a returning all-star of some capacity in Dame next year, a playoff team, poised to make a run for a few years.
Oh, no, there's talent on that team.
It seems like we have a job that people would want.
Yes. Now, I think the question is finding the right mix of – personally, I think Tiago was too young.
He was.
I don't think he was ready to take the leap with that roster. We need to find a combination of – we either need a defensive-minded head coach with an offensive guru as an assistant, or we need an offensive head coach with a defensive guru as a defensive team. I believe this team could play offense and score points. I don't think that's ever going to be a problem. I think we have the makings of a good defense, but that needs some coaching and that needs some direction. And look, I don't know who it's going to be. We've talked about Terry Stotts. We've talked about him bringing in a defensive guy. Him and Dame would slide right back into the old system.
Where did Stotts come from? Did he come from Dallas?
So he was Adelman's assistant with the Mavericks when they won their no, not Adelman, Rick Carlisle.
Okay.
And then he came to Portland after Sarge, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So they had the little interim guy for a while. Then he came after Sarge, and he was 9 seasons in Portland, something
he was
like
there
that.
for a while. Took us to the Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm. And remember, Nurkic got hurt for that too.
Yeah.
And we had to go up against the Warriors, which wasn't a fair fight at that point. But I like the idea of bringing in a veteran. I don't know if Terry even still has his home here. I don't know if he ever sold it. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But I like that idea as long as he gets a defensive-minded coach. Or I think we got to be looking at a veteran. I mean, someone that can grab the bull by the horns. And quite frankly, I think it would be a mistake to not include Dame on the process.
Yes.
I'm not saying Dame gets to go handpick his guy. 8 seasons ago, I may have said that. But he's got to be sitting there looking more of a, he's got to be more of an ambassador type deal at this point. Yes, he's hopefully still has meaningful minutes in him, but he's not going to play 40 minutes a night. It's just not going to happen.
No.
So, yes, I think it would be a mistake to not include him in the process just because he is definitely the one guy that can keep that locker room together if things went sideways.
Yeah.
Because if he speaks, they will listen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's going to be interesting. The NBA draft is next Wednesday night. So we got 1 week to hire a head coach. He needs to assemble an assistant coach, a coaching staff. Something's got to happen.
I don't think we're going to hire a guy before the draft. I think Dundon and the staff want to do their thing and not have a new head coach walking in the door with his fancy ideas.
Can you think of another franchise that's ever gone into a draft without a head coach in place?
I mean, I'm sure there's been one.
I'm sure there
it's
has,
happened.
but that's not something you commonly see.
Is anything in Portland something that you commonly see these days? I mean,
no, you got to keep Portland weird. Thanks for listening to Lineups and Lures. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to rate, like, and share the podcast. It helps us reach more fans, more anglers, and more stories worth telling. We'll see you next time, whether it's out on the field or out on the water.